Did you watch or listen to the recording at all, or would you like a quick recap on what everyone got up to?
I started listening to it. Nick did outline it yesterday.
Okay. So essentially, pretty straightforward. Was just mingling around town, getting to know people. The specifics escape me at the moment. Let me load up. So you met a number of people. I believe, Lana, you've got a Google Doc with all the NPC names in it, right? You're keeping like a running list of everyone that you've met. Cool.
I've been keeping a running list of everything and notes as well. So.
Yeah. If you have any, if you run into anyone or have run into anyone and I can't get the names right, or you can't get the names right, then let me know. I will sort that out. So I have. You guys are on the main map. Oh no, you're not on the main map. I'll move you back over. So last session ended with a brief encounter with some goblins outside the front of an old abandoned you're not sure what it is yet, some kind of settlement inside a small chasm cut into the cliffside near where are we? Let's zoom in. On the eastern side of the Iron Seat Ridge, just as it sort of becomes this rocky area going from low hills and forest, it becomes very rocky, and then cut into the side of the cliff face is a small ravine almost. Looks like there was some kind of rock fall at some time, a long time ago. Most of the buildings, remains of buildings that you have seen are shattered and in pieces. And there are a couple of goblins hiding out in here, and you have reason to suspect, and deductive reasoning allows you to believe that this is the forward operating base of the goblins that attacked you while you were on the road. At the start of the session, you hear from behind you, wait for me, and then Nayland shows up. I'm going to drag your token over. Let me sort out the lighting. So, wait, double check I'm going to get the settings right on your vision. So, yeah, cool. Site 60, yeah, done. I think speed. Sorry, just sort out all the bars and stuff above your. Oh shit, that's not the right one. Above your token, and then where is it? Speed. Maybe speed. There we go. Cool. Save changes. Okay, so that should be. Should be good. Cool. Yeah. So I think, fuck me, I've done that the wrong. God damn it. So that's meant to be speed. Sorry about this, everyone. Quick as I can. Right, that should be good. Yes. Okay. Cool. So you're all. None of you took any damage during that fight, did you? You killed three goblins, but thanks to judicious use of cover, you managed to evade any actual hits on you. So. I don't know how much you can see at the moment, Mads, but I'll drag your token around and sort of open up the area and get you some vision. It should automatically calculate where you can and cannot see.
Nice.
Just to, so you can see the shattered remnants of these, of the walls of these buildings, and obviously overgrown with shrubbery somewhat. But then when you head to the east, as Asterin has found out, there is a large double door made of stone, flanked either side by statues of some kind of humanoid figures with axes at the ready, and then some target dummies for some kind of archery range up towards the north. But everyone make a perception check. Oh yeah, nice. All on guard. So I'll use that as your. I'll roll it over for until it matters. You see, if you have a look in the chat now, above the double doorway, there is very clearly an ancient, I'm sure you would all recognize it as dwarven set of runes carved into sort of the mantle where the keystone of this doorway would be, that has been painted over in some dark red, probably blood, it's painted by hand, so like you can see fingerprints and stuff in it as they've dragged it with their fingers. The statement: Rocktooth Gobbos only, Humies and Stonetooths zog off. And that is just above the doorway, well, right ahead of you. But otherwise, there is naught to be seen.
Mm-hmm. Does anyone know what a Humie is, or a Gobbo?
You're all welcome to make. Actually, thinking on what it would be. I know in other game systems what it would be, but this one there isn't a role for it. I think nature check is probably, yeah. Make a nature check or a history check, and then no history check, and to sort of try and deduce some information about what the message might mean.
Humies and what? Sorry.
Gobbos. So, in case you can't read the thing in the Discord chat, it says Rocktooth Gobbos only, Humies and Stone.
Oh.
Stonetooth.
Can't you do? No, you can't. Yeah.
There you go. Rocktooth Gobbos only, Humies and Stonetooths zog off. So with a 20 history check, stands to reason Gobbos means goblins.
Sure.
Humies, however, you are welcome to extrapolate from that that it could mean, well, it's clearly someone that the Gobbos don't want to associate with. In terms of Rocktooth and Stonetooth, though, you're not 100% sure. At the moment, that can mean any massive number of things.
Sure. We got freedom of movement at the moment.
Yes, yeah, you're not initiative or anything. You're free to walk around, have a look around. There doesn't appear to be any present threat.
If I can
yeah.
make my way into this area, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
So I can see everyone else.
Mm-hmm. I can't tell. Actually, wait. I think there's a. I believe there's a button. I think Mark, did you tell me last week? There's a button you can press when you're hovering over someone to see what they can see.
Control an L or Shift an L, I think.
Control L. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So I can see what you can see. Lovely. I like using the. I like using dynamic lighting. It's fun. Okay. So. Yeah, Astrid, you're the only person up by the front door of this place. I mean, I'll give you this one for free. It's clearly not built by goblins.
Cool.
And does anyone read or speak or understand Dwarven?
No.
Understand at least one person would have, but they are no longer with us.
I do. I'm
You
shouting
do?
I do, but I was muted. So
Okay, so you recognize the word written underneath this thing on top. It's a bit difficult to make out, but after if you look at it from an angle, so you can see where the grooves are cut in and carved in, you see the word Urgir. It's a dwarven word. It's sort of like it's a pronoun or some description. Doesn't mean anything. So, The coast. Well, I'll say the coast is clear. There isn't a threat. There's no one around. Any further investigation,
Have we
or will
gone
you be pressing forward?
into these other little alcovey parts?
Yes, I believe if I do that. Yeah, so the areas that are like blacked out are the areas that you've never seen. The areas that like a dark grey are the areas that you have seen but cannot see currently. So you should be able to see just about everywhere, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I see. I gotcha. Okie dokie.
All right.
Are we holding back for the voice that we that we hear?
The
What was over here again? Sorry, just
this is so towards the north. If you move your character eastward, you'll be able to see a there's like sort of an archery range that all of these dummies are like riddled with goblin arrows.
okay.
But just right next to where your token is, there's just a firewood chopping area. Appears to not have been used in some time. You get the impression goblins are quite lazy.
Okay.
They don't like making the they don't like actually chopping the wood. They just prefer to have it pre-chopped.
And is there a usable axe there? Is there?
Yes, yeah. It's not a combat axe by any means,
No.
but I'll let it do 1d6 damage if you wanted to
I
use
was
it.
thinking more that if anyone was behind us or comes behind us, then that's an alternative weapon that could be used at last resort.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's not a very well-made axe. It looks like just I say not very well-made. It's not special in the slightest.
Special.
It's just like a firewood chop.
Okay. Can I try to hammer down the axe on the block of wood as hard as possible so it is very difficult
Jams
to
in
remove?
so no one
Yeah.
can get it out. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Make a strength check.
What athletics?
Yeah, athletics would be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
14.
14. Yeah, no, I mean it visibly goes in further. You do it sinks an inch or so further in, but the wood itself cracks a little bit. So you're unsure about how easy or hard it would be to wedge it free. At the very least, it would take essentially it'd take an action to get it out because it's properly jammed in there.
Can I check to see whether the entrance is trapped or not?
Absolutely. Investigation check. So it doesn't look trapped in any way. It looks very heavy. Like I said, is a door made of stone. And it does look like it has been used recently. Like the grooves are where the dust would be, or would be swept away as the doors open or close. There's no dirt lying on the floor. There's very clearly been movement recently. But it doesn't appear to be trapped and doesn't appear to be locked either. It's just like a big push open door.
Okay. We going in?
Excellent question.
No point standing around here. I would like to hold an attack action if anything rushes at us after opening the door.
Sure, yeah. So you, who is the one opening the door? Who's at the forefront?
Oh, it's a stone door, isn't it?
Yes. So it's made in such a way. I mean, goblins are opening it. They're not especially strong.
Okay.
But it's fire and blast resistant. Basically,
I mean,
it's a tough door, but it's easy.
Oh.
Sure.
I will open the door. That's a terrible Russian accent.
So you run over to the door.
I need to practice this.
I'd like to open door.
I would like to open the door. In my mind, that's how the Duergar, the
Yep.
deep dwarves, they all
Yep.
speak with Russian accents.
Yes,
because
they do.
all dwarves are Scottish, so you need to have them be appropriately stupidly voiced, but also distinct from Scottish. Mountain dwarves are Scottish, hill dwarves are Welsh.
I am so
and
bringing
Duergar
Robert
are-
in. If I end up dying, then my favourite character is probably going to make an appearance.
Okay, so Umra, how do you open the door? In what manner do you open the door? Are you like kicking it down? Are you trying to open it sneakily?
I will use my hand.
Okay, so I'll say you're doing it sneakily then. Make a stealth check.
Got eggs on my hand.
I can roll it for you if you want.
I don't have advantage. I must have advantage on.
What, I'd weigh 15. Okay, yeah, so you creep open the door. It, without a sound, swings open. A marvel of dwarven engineering. And shows immediately walls on your left and right, immediately leading to another double door. This one slightly different, but it's still made of stone, still in the same dwarven architecture. But you also see to the north, just here, I don't know if you guys can see that. I will do a little map, freehand. Here we go. Here, there is a missing, what looks like a missing patch of wall. There's no door frame, nothing. It just looks like a bit of the wall has fallen in, but then beyond it is also like worked stone. And you see on the floor there's like a fake stone panel made to look like a piece of wall that has fallen down. What is everyone's passive perception?
I think mine is 15. Yeah, 15.
Nailin, immediately the most awful stench offends your nostrils as you smell what could only be some kind of foul, vermin-like dog creature.
Oh.
As
That is absolutely disgusting.
I'd like to point out
I say.
when Amun-Ra opens a door, like Hanu just like prods like an attack forward at nothing and then like slips into his shell, realizes that nothing is actually coming towards him, and then emerges once again.
Better safe than sorry. Better safe than sorry. Okay, so yeah, you smell, and you can probably hear as well. Like after you get it's like a wave hits you of this smell, and you probably pause for a second and listen, and you can hear like some kind of like bestial creature yapping and playing, maybe, or fighting.
I'm just sort of gonna put my finger into my mouth to shush everyone and then sort of usher everyone forwards. Go, but shut up.
Yeah, okay, cool. So I'm guessing that everyone is going to try and sneak. So if I could get stealth checks from everyone, I'll use Armor's 15 that you rolled earlier.
Thank you.
Blah. Oh, man alive. Yeah, you, like shadows in the night, creep forward without making a sound. The dust itself doesn't even hold your footprints. And you creep forward.
How far in was it?
Well, that's the thing. There is, as I said, oh, there you go.
Oh, there you
There's a double door there, and to the north is that further passage that you're hearing this a bunch of creatures from. Let me see if I can say it so you can all see each other. Maybe this would make it a bit clearer what you can and can't see. Let's see, changes. Changes. So, hopefully, if I do that, you should be able to, like, even Naylin should be able to see what Honu could see. No, that's not how it works. Okay. So yeah, Honu, you start creeping around the corner at the ready, and you see two of those dog-like rat dog things. Now I've got a token all by itself. I'll make this guy a bit bigger so you can see what he looks like. Yeah, gross. They're about the size of like probably like a Labrador, but they look more rat-like than dog-like. And it appears to be playing tug of war with something, with another of these goblin dogs just to the north.
Okay.
And it hasn't appeared to have noticed you.
Okay. In that case, I guess I'll move one step forward and attack.
Okay, roll for initiative.
And
You
retreat.
get the surprise round.
Yep. So.
Where?
Oh, bang out there.
Woo.
Okay, right. Oh, Jesus. A turn. Okay, so what did I roll? 14, 8, and 3. Wow, super
Ollie,
sick.
I forgot to click my token.
Weeks. That's horrible. I got +6 on that. It's just ridiculous to roll a 12.
Oh my god. I rolled like garbage. So, Astrid didn't grab your. I'll add that to the term really quick.
Thank you.
So, shit. 5. There we go. Sort by descending. So, it is a surprise round. They do not know you are there. Amra, you are first up. You see Honu like take a step forward and get ready to attack. Is there anything you would like to do in that instance? Actually, where is your token?
My token is underneath and to the left of.
Oh, yeah. I
Honu.
see the blurred nameplates merging together when I zoom in. Yeah, okay.
Hold 1 second. I've got my hands full of peanut butter.
This is the
This
wild
sounds
cheesecake.
really.
5 times of Philadelphia, and then you're adding more dairy and peanut butter.
It's a peanut butter cheesecake, obviously.
Well, yeah, I figured you weren't just eating peanut butter.
I mean, I've been known to.
Oh, don't get me wrong, but it's dinner time. Don't eat peanut butter for dinner. It's lunch.
I will take a step here
Mhm.
to see clearly what is going on, and then I will. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to Eldritch Blast. That's what I do, isn't it?
Okay.
Ah.
Did you decide on what your Eldritch Blast looked like?
No, I didn't. It's going to be red and and shaped like a sickle and hammer.
Does it make any noise? Does it go like as the Soviet national anthem flies through the air?
Nastrovich.
It does now.
Okay, so you all hear like a split like 0.5 second clip of the Soviet national anthem as a beam of red light flies out. Is it loud and proud, or is it subtle? Would it attract the attention of nearby goblins? Is the question I'm trying to
it can only be heard by those that can see it.
How incredibly convenient. Okay, so you conjure a ball of communist energy and fire out like a beam that from the side it looks just like a straight beam, but if you look at it like dead on, it's like a prism of the cross. So it then leaves like a sickle and hammer brand on the goblin side as it strikes, or the gobhound strike.
It's not the Russian anthem either. It's just as it shoots across, it says, "Together we can defeat it."
Oh man, the bardic inspiration is comrade, I have your back. Okay, yeah, roll damage for that. 8 is enough.
8 communist damage.
8. Oh, they're resistant to communist damage. He's still alive. The hyper-capitalist goblins. Okay, yeah, you fire this beam through this thing, and like as Honu's like raring to strike with lance over one shoulder, ready to strike downwards, you fire the beam and just knock him out of the way before he even can land the strike. You've still got like 25 feet of movement, I think, so feel free to move around if you like.
How is 1 second? Sorry, I'm tending to my cheesecake. I do apologise. This is very uncouth. It's highly against D&D etiquette.
To make a cheesecake while you're playing.
I will stay where I am. I will crouch behind the large turtle.
Okay. So that is your turn, Honu. So the one you're about to strike is down, but you do know for a fact there's at least one more in there.
Okay. I rush in to be able to be within range, which I think is only one more step. I think. I can get him from there.
With your lance, you've got reach, haven't you? Yeah. So you take one step forward. You see around the corner. I don't know if you can actually see it, but there's another one hiding around here.
Yeah, I can just see that one as well.
But you used the 12 you rolled earlier. That does it.
Ooh, wonderful. In that case, some of that.
No.
Oh my god, that seems excessive. Yeah, you kill him twice.
It is a
and then
1d12.
Jesus. Okay, yeah, you just skewer this thing, and you feel your like there's a bit of rubble scattered around the side. It's clearly in some sort of disrepair.
Yep.
You feel it like bury itself a couple of inches into the rubble as it goes through this creature.
Sure. I then retract into my shell.
Okay, bonus action. So you retracted your shell, but you do go prone.
Yep.
So you'll be easier to hit, but also harder to hit. And then it's your turn, and then surprise, surprise, Godpound comes rolling around the corner, screaming like a feral possum, and he is going to try and bite you. So what is your AC while you are in the shell?
In my shell defense is 17, 18, 19, 20, 21.
21 to hit.
Ooh.
Natural 17. So he, this creature skitters around the corner, and you duck into your shell, and you're not expecting, like, you know when you see cats that like they squeeze through a gap that there's no way you think they would be able to get through. It's like that. As this thing sort of like its head and its front legs like tuck in towards its head, and its head just barrels like into a gap. Like one of the leg holes of your shell, and you feel it clamp onto you. You take 6 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Motherfucker. Constitution saving throw.
You're a barbarian, you'll be fine.
I can't even really find it now.
Beep.
There it is.
20. Yeah, that's going to succeed. So you feel like this thing is filthy, and you're sure that if you weren't such a hardy individual, there's a good chance you would have caught something. But you managed to resist whatever it was trying to do to you. And that is its turn. Naylin, you're up.
Well, I currently can't see anything, so I'm going to move here.
You hear Honu go like, ow, inside his shell. It echoes.
Can I like step around him?
Because he's prone, you can move through allied creatures' spaces, but it's difficult terrain, so it just costs 2 squares of movement. So you've moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so you can get over there, and because this creature is small, I think you can step over its space.
So I can get right up to here.
If you want to if you want to go past it, yes. I think. Let me double check. I think you need to make an acrobatics or athletics check to try and like dodge past it if you're going to move through an enemy space. But otherwise, it's only like DC like 10.5. No, 10.16 actually. Acrobatics or athletics check, whichever's best for you.
Oh, they're both the same, so I'll go for that one.
Okay.
That's not great. You have to stop like basically standing on top of Honu. You like try and dodge past it, but this thing is like you dodge left, it
at this
dodges in
stage,
front of
I'm
you,
just a
and
rock.
it's yeah. You're
I
like
just
balancing on
stood
top
on
of like a
him.
boogie board.
Can I still hit? Or
Yes, you can. Yeah, that's just it means that you can't move any further in that direction. He's stopping your movement.
well, I'm sort of going to try and reach out with my foot and inflict wounds.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. So make that's a spell attack, right? So make a. I'm not sure if you have the built into your sheet, but it would be basically a wisdom saving throw for you. It's the same bonus.
Have I got to roll the wisdom save?
It basically,
it
yes,
should
yeah.
say-
It's because it's a spell attack, so it's wisdom plus proficiency, and a wisdom save is the same bonus. So if you don't have a spell attack like already on your sheet, then just use that.
I don't know. I'm very confused.
So I will sort out something on your sheet very quickly. Cool. 1 sec. So first of all, that should be that. There you go. That's not. I don't think Word of Radiance is an attack roll. No, get that. Sorry, just fixing a couple of things. There we go. So do spell done. Yeah. So basically, see where I've added just spell attack at the bottom of your attacks and spellcasting.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you just click that, and that works for like guiding bolt as well, that sort of thing. 7. No, you.
God damn it.
Your foot glows with this almost like ultraviolet light, and you try and kick out it, but as you do so, like have you ever tried to like jump off of a skateboard and like how the thing underneath you goes flying backwards and you go flying forwards? Like you try and kick with your foot, and like all of Honu just like spins rapidly on the spot. But I don't think that wastes the spell. You just like you have it charged for whenever you're next going to try and attempt it. But I think unless you've got a bonus action, that will be your turn. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So is that Astrin? You see an interesting magical pirouette move coming from Naylin.
Right. I'm going to. Where is it? Oh, it's right. Okay. Can I like try and run up the wall to get around them?
Okay, so you can
Fuck
move
off.
through ally squares as difficult terrain. If you want to try and get around the other side of it, that will be an acrobatics check. I think you're better at acrobatics than Naylin was, though, so hopefully you'll fare a bit better.
You can only hope.
The Assassin's Creed sea elf trying to wall run over over a feral
No,
hound.
It's not rolling. There we go. No,
Hey.
that's that one. That's in that one.
Oh.
Okay, so you also cannot go anywhere. Now it's like a cheerleader's a cheerleader like pyramid, where there's a spinning turtle and an elven ballerina is on one side with her foot glowing, and then a Assassin's Creed sea elf also clambers into the same space, and now you're all just having a great big party on top of the turtle.
Right. So she's gonna grab onto one of the spikes to hold on as she spins, and when the next time she comes around, because I think that's within 5 foot of it.
Yeah, no, you will actually get sneak attack from this.
When the next time they come around, she's gonna have a go at it. Oh god.
Okay. There you go. Yeah, 17 is going to hit, and so that is going to apply for sneak attack as well.
Oh
10
my god,
points
that's
of damage.
another one.
Either way, don't worry. Only has 7 hit points, and you finally managed to skewer this thing, and it goes limp. Nicely done. So during that exchange, I'll just ask for some honest feedback. Do you think you were all very quiet?
No.
Probably not.
Arminor, you feel behind you,
Oh
the wall drop out,
no.
is what it feels like, as a hidden door. Let me just add this bad boy to the old initiative. A hidden door behind you swings out of the way. Let me get on the right layer. Get out of the way, little window. There we go. A hidden door behind you, mirroring the other side as if it was symmetrical, swings out. You like stumble for a second, and he tries to stab you in the back.
What a bitch.
He readies his dog slicer. That is a 16 to hit.
You may be muted.
16 hits.
Okay, that is going to be, oh my gosh, 8 points of slashing damage as a goblin just creeps up. Like as I said, the wall drops out, and then you just feel a shiv in your back, and this thing with like it looks like a little meat cleaver, but it's made of like properly jagged, disgusting, rusted metal. It just like jabs it into your side, and you feel blood start running down you. That 8 points of damage, that's not nothing. And then he is going to...
We're level 1, that could kill a wizard.
Yes, it could. It couldn't permanently kill a wizard, but it certainly could help. Unless you had a -2 con, but you'd have to be really unlucky to get a -2 con. So, this thing shivs you, bonus action, disengage, and then 1, 2, 3, 4... scurries away down the corridor on all fours. Outside.
What a creepy little dude.
That's the voice.
I'm right. It's your turn.
Sorry, I'm just putting down my whisk.
I didn't think it would come up this often that you were making a cheesecake, but it's coming up quite a lot.
I can't see him, can I?
No, he is scurried away to the south.
I'm gonna not take any movement. I'm gonna ready my action, which is an Eldritch Blast if I see any more blasted goblins, and will loudly shout, "Ow!"
Okay. So you shout "ow" and you hear it go "ow, ow, ow" down the corridor. Yeah, you ready in action? Cool. Honu.
Would it be safe to say that the fact my my shell spun around, I'd be facing the other way?
It is reasonable to assume such, yes.
Okay.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm still like stood on your back.
Yeah, that's
I think
fine.
2 people are still on your back, actually.
I don't know they're on my back. I mean, it's a solid shell, so it's not like
Yeah,
I
there's
could
no.
probably feel much
You
weight.
might feel like the ground get a bit like closer, but I mean,
Mm,
you feel a bit more pressed
Yeah.
into the ground. But otherwise, yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
you have nerve endings in your shell.
So yeah, I want to stand up.
Okay, everyone make a dexterity save.
Oh, damn it.
And
hold on.
if you make an athletics check, please.
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay, yeah. So you stand up. Nailin, would you like to jump off or cling onto the back of the turtle?
Thing.
I was gonna say cling. Like, oh shit, the floor's moving.
Okay. You feel the floor moving, and instinctively, as any sane person would do, bear hug it. Astrid, you're not so accustomed to the floor moving. You're used to the ocean moving around you, the ground not so much, and you unfortunately fall. I'm gonna have to move your tokens out of the way so I can grab the right one. You fall off and you are prone, which I will indicate by turning your token upside down. But you know, Honu, you managed to stand up, and I don't think you noticed that Naylin's on your back. With the 25 athletics check, you're like, oh, it's just my shells being extra heavy today.
Sure. In that case, I'm guessing I would have maybe seen Amun-Ra's attacker.
You're in your shell.
I can still see out my shell. I just my head's in my shell.
You definitely see Amun-Ra, like, he's got a cut on his side.
Okay.
And he's, like, very clearly readying a spell to fire down a corridor that has, like,
Sure.
until 3 seconds ago wasn't there.
Yeah, no worries.
It is also a very big gash
I mean-
in his back.
I'm bleeding. I'm pissed off. I move forward. I kick the door and hold an attack.
Okay, this door here.
That's the one.
Okay, you kick in the door. Let me get my text ready. Before you see, rather than these cramped corridors that you've become so accustomed to, you see a rather large, significantly more open space that seems to resemble a miniature chapel. There are pillars running on your left and right with some room behind them. And directly ahead of you, about 30, 40 feet or so, there is an altar and some kind of little, like, alcove that it's tucked inside. What is everyone's passive perception?
13.
15.
15.
Ow.
Is anyone's passive perception 20 or higher?
No.
Good to know. Yeah, that's what you see.
Okay.
So, cool. Are you going to be moving in at all? Because it's like half your movement to stand up, so you've still got...
No, I'm Hanu's pissed off, so he'll just kick the door down and go.
Okay, you bellow angrily into this main hallway. Cool. Nail him.
I'm going to slowly detach myself.
Now realizing that climbing onto the back of a barbarian is sometimes not the best idea.
And just step into this room that he's just opened with my short bow at the ready, just in case.
Okay, I'm just going to add a couple of things. No one pay attention to the initiative tracker.
Okay, brilliant.
No one look at it. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, they've all got +2, isn't that nice? Makes the math easy. 9, 15. Wow, didn't roll great. And 12. Let's double check if we've got any ties. I don't think we do. How convenient. So I'm just going to resort everything and then go back down to your turn. So you hop off. Do you head further in?
I'm gonna try and do it so that is this like a pillar or something?
Yes. So the bit that you can't see, there are 4 pillars supporting the ceiling, which is like it was previously like 8 feet high. Now it's jumped to like 15 feet high. So you're gonna creep in. Cool. Taking cover from something, and I assume you're still holding that inflict wounds that you had that missed.
I mean, yeah.
So are you? Is it still in your foot, or have you like transferred the energy up to a hand?
Oh, it's still just chilling in my foot.
Okay, so you're doing like a Karate Kid crane kick pose. You know, the very final fight.
Broken
And
leg.
you've got like one leg up in the air. The Moonweaver would be so proud.
Thank you.
So you hear. I'll do a bit of Foley work. This will do. You hear as another false panel that Amun-Ra was previously so well attuned to pops out of the wall here, falling down, seemingly have been pushed down by the Gobbo Hound that is now running up towards you. 1, 2, 3.
Can
hello.
Hanu see this?
Yes.
And the held action that he had as you kicked open the door? Can
Yeah,
use
sure.
that? Yeah.
Go for it.
It was 1 moment.
My hold action.
Yeah, you can. I think it goes in initiative order, so I think Armin Roz would go off first.
Okay.
So I'm right. If you're willing to use your held action now, then absolutely go for it. And then the next trigger will affect yours. If he, there you go. Yeah, 25. Oh, he's still alive. So yeah, the chill touch. So it's a spell attack.
Yep.
14 to hit. Lovely. And
That's bloody awful.
start your next turn. Okay, right. Damn, I didn't know there was so much extra stuff at the end of that spell. I thought it just did the healing thing. So this Gobberhound doesn't look very happy, having been shot by a communist laser and a ghostly dragon hand. However, it continues unabated and tries to clamp itself onto your leg. If anyone's seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the very last scene with the dog, that's kind of what this thing's going for. Ooh, another 17. Plus 4, 21 to hit. Nail him.
Yeah.
Did you have held action at all?
Does the thing that's in my
Infect
foot
wounds.
count?
Yeah, I mean, if you held your action to kick something as it came close to you, then yes, it does.
You can't see me. I'm like, please. Please.
Did you hold your action?
Yeah, did you, be honest, did you hold your action?
No.
Okay. So you're preoccupied looking the other direction, and okay, this is what happens. The dog starts running towards you. You do a crane kick towards it and realize that you had your feet the wrong way around, and you kick it with just like your non-magical foot, and nothing happens. And it, 21 to hit. So 5 points of piercing damage and a Constitution saving throw, please.
That one.
Okay, you succeed.
Yay.
DC 10. Again, this thing is filthy. Oh, disgusting. It is like a mangy street dog that you would see like on holiday in Spain. It's filthy. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's got like, patches of fur missing one of its eyes, is like bulbous and green. Skitters towards you, clamps a mouth around your leg, and stays where it is.
I'm just having a nice scream.
From inside the way, yeah. And then you hear someone to the north of you, and Astrid, that's your turn. You are currently prone.
Right. That's half my movement to get up.
15 feet remaining. I will spin you back round.
Right. Okay. I'm going to. Yeah. Why not? I'm going to stand on, climb up onto Hono's back because there's no other way I can get around there.
Excuse me, sorry. Most creatures don't actually take up their 5 foot space. They're not 5 foot wide, but he is fucking huge. So you have to time it a little bit, just so you don't get crushed between the wall and his Iron Maiden back. Okay, so it's difficult terrain, so that costs 2 squares to move through. So I think
fine, that's all of my movement. But can I get onto the top of Honu's shell so I can see over what's going on?
Yes, you can.
Brilliant.
This is fucking chaos.
I am tiny.
I thought they're only level 1. They won't need a hallway wider than 5 feet.
I'm gonna throw the my goblin dagger that I picked up earlier at it.
Okay, yeah. The dagger, just a slightly out of character. The stabby small weapons are called dog slicers, and the bigger hacky weapons are called horse choppers. Just as a and bows are called man prickers. Continue.
Brilliant.
Cool. I'm gonna throw it. Should I just roll for my dagger?
Yeah. It's just the same bonus because it's a thrown weapon.
Cool. Would I have sneak?
Yes, because Nailin is adjacent to it. 18 hits.
Oh, dear. Come on. The fuck?
Another one on the sneak attack. So not a very sneaky individual. To be fair, you're not exactly in the best state of being at the moment. You are half on the back of, half crushed between a wall of a giant turtle man. However, that dagger does plunk into its shoulder and take it out.
Wonderful. I'm now going to hold on for my dear life.
Okay.
Cool.
With the back of a similar texture to a climbing wall in a children's playground, you cling on for dear life. And then... Where's that one? There we go.
That's not a good sentence.
Yeah, you can get up there. Oh, not that far. He runs up around the corner. He does not have a dog slicer anymore. He now has a man pricker. And he is going to fire a shot at you, Amra.
Me? Why? What did I do to him?
You bled and didn't die. Okay, that's an 8 to hit. You're fine. So he flies past and like deflects off of wall, rebounds like 8 times, and he and then takes 2 steps further backwards, and that is going to be his turn. And then it is back up to you again. So you know, considering like how far he must have run the first time, you know he's not much further beyond that corner. Oh yeah, 17 hits. So you turn the corner, immediately see him, and exactly how many hit points he has, and go splat.
I also shout, not loud enough for people to hear, but just loud enough so that he hears before he dies. Eat Eldritch, you ass.
So you shoot him with his Eldritch Blast, and the last thing he hears before he dies is a strange Slavic man shout at him. He doesn't know what it means. He doesn't speak proper common, he speaks Goblin Common, which is essentially a different language. And anything else in your turn? Still got a little bit of movement left, if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm going to go back up.
I'm going to be honest, smart choice. So you
Brilliant.
go back to where nearly where you started, and then it is Honu. Again, there is someone on your back. Not the same person as before, but either way, you aren't aware.
Sure. I will... what would Hanu do? I mean, he's still cheesed off that he's bleeding. So he's probably going to run in behind Nailin.
Okay.
And hold an attack action for anyone that comes near him or her.
Okay, cool. So you continue to go up that way. Astrid, I'm gonna move your token to like adjacent to it so I can see both of them at the same time, but we know where you are. How could we ever forget? Ooh. Okay, that's your turn. Do you go into a rage at all, or are you avoiding
I'm
raging?
I'm
Angry,
still,
but not angry.
Yeah, I'm pissed off. I'm not raging. I'm cool as cucumber at a minute.
Okay.
As far as he's concerned. Although he's now like contemplating whether he needs to go on a diet because he's added a few pounds somewhere. And he doesn't
I don't remember it being so difficult to walk. So you all see, or you hear actually, echoing from somewhere in this chamber.
Foolish Humies! How dare you enter the realm of the...
Wait, is it Rocktooth or Stonetooth?
Rocktooth Goblins!
Everyone make a perception check.
Oh, brilliant.
No. Oh, sorry.
Nailin, as the... I don't know if you've ever been like attacked by a wild animal. However, there's this weird thing that happens where time like literally slows down and it feels like you're in like slow-mo and you can see things that weren't there before and like you're super stressed out. You see, almost as if you like looked through something, there is a goblin on the other side of that altar. I will make it visible to you. There's a goblin on the other side of that altar with a like a drinking horn with the bottom cut off, so it can like shout through it. And you just see his feet poking out, just like to the north here. And he is like sat there giggling as he bellows into this horn, trying to scare you. You also see a rope pulley attached to this torch here, leading. Oh wait, what the fuck's just happened there? Why didn't that work? Why can't you see that?
You might be on a different layer.
There we go. No, it made the color transparent for some reason. So you see there is a rope pulley attached to this torch, like or torch sconce here, that leads up into the ceiling about 3-4 feet, and then along, and then you follow the rope, and you find yourself looking directly upwards, and noticing a rather large net above you, disguised to look like the roof, full of boulders, rubble, and other bits of debris. He uses his turn to taunt you. Let's see. You hear,
You killed my dog!
and a arrow flies towards you, 5 to hit, deflects off of the pillar behind you, and then he... oh, wait. What's he going to do? He's going to go 1, 2... Yeah. He scutters around this way, seemingly wanting to join in the fun of taunting you from behind the altar. Naylin, it is your turn. You've still got the magic foot. Oh, I should say that like rubble area only affects like the bits between the pillars. So if you were to go, like there, you'd be fine. You wouldn't be under the dangerous bit.
I'm going to. Can I see where this one is? I can't do anything. This one, like, can I see him?
You can see like he's got cover essentially, but you know where he is.
I am going.
And he doesn't think that you know where he is.
Fire off a guiding bolt.
Okay. Yes, that hits. This guy is not wearing no armor, no shield. He's just sat there giggling to himself. And you fire a bolt of radiant energy, and he goes, "Foolish you!" And then nothing.
And then I'm going to. Where was it you said that?
So actually, I can move it onto the map. This. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait.
I will.
You're not meant to see the words. Oh dear, that's bad. Pretend you saw nothing. Change all the numbers now. Change all the numbers.
I'm going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 over here. And then just chill.
Okay, cool. You chill, as any sane person would. Oh man. I'm gonna question for the audience, for those listening at home. Am I allowed to be a dick?
No.
And you're the DM, dude.
You're
Not at level 1.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Would you usually be a dick in this scenario if we weren't level 1?
I'm just looking at hit points, man. I'm just looking at hit points. Tell you what, let me do some maths. What's your AC?
Who's?
Mine.
Naylin.
18.
Okay.
Please don't kill me.
You'll be fine.
For fuck's sake.
A wall, another one, again, mirroring the other side, disappears behind you. Another goblin stands there. Dog slicer at the ready. Steps forward.
Fuck off, man.
Gonna try and stab you.
I can't see this, can I?
No, you
No.
cannot. That's directly in the way.
My
You
held
hear like
action would not be
but
applicable.
otherwise.
No, that's fine.
You did see this guy run around the corner. If you want to say that.
Yeah,
that counts.
but it was to approach either me or Nailin. I think it's only fair that I said that, so that would be the only time he would use it.
So 17 to hit. So he runs up towards you. And do you have a shield, or is it just like your full plate armor or something?
Yes. I'm just trying to look, but I'm blind.
Scale mail and a shield. Yeah. Okay. And you got +3 dex. Yeah. Cool. So you I don't know why, but I find it weird that an elf is as strong as they are dexterous. Like in my mind, elves are waif-like creatures. So you see this thing run up towards you. You easily deflect it with your shield, and then it uses its bonus action to disengage and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He runs down a different hallway that you didn't know was there either.
What little bitch?
As he knocks this false wall out of the way, scurries further in. Astrid.
Right. If I jump off of Hanu's shell, does that mean that I spent 2 or?
I would say if you jump off, that counts as 1 square of movement. Because it's not difficult terrain to leave someone's square, it's to enter it.
Okay, cool. Then I want to go 1. Yeah, I'm gonna go to here, pick up my dagger.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so I can get to here.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna throw the dagger at the goblin just before me.
Okay.
No sneak on that one.
No, he's just he saw you coming. Well, he didn't see you coming, but he knew you were there. Unfortunately, not. The dagger sails overhead. Actually, he catches it. It's like, oh, 2 dog slices, and now he has 2 weapons.
Okay, cool. That's
Okay. Make an intelligence check.
um, 13.
It stands to reason. Every doorway, hidden and otherwise, that you have seen so far in this room, or in this building, really, has been mirrored on the opposite side. So it stands to reason that the square to your... Wait one sec. Oh, fuck. What's going on? There we go. This square here, there is a false door there, and using your passive investigation of 14, you can see a fake stone panel just there.
Right. Okay.
Okay. There's your turn. Umra.
Hello.
Hello.
Where is everybody? 5, 10, 15, 20. I'm gonna shoot this goblin.
Okay. $16 hits.
Fucking hell.
1 point of damage. Unfortunately, they do not have 1 hit point. He stays standing.
That's it. I don't really have any bonus actions. But...
Okay. Honu. So there's 1 guy left, and you now either see or have been made aware of. There are 4. Yeah, 4. Apart from the way you came in, there are 4 secret doors.
That's right.
Leading into and out of this chamber.
He vocally, aggressively screams, rushes to here if he can.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, absolutely.
And attacks the one below him.
Go for it. 11 misses.
Seeing that he misses,
So-
he uses his bonus action to retract into his shell.
Okay, on top of the altar. As you go to strike this thing, he goes,
Oh, you're a big human.
and then ducks out of the way, and you thump into a shell, and he goes,
Oh, never seen that before.
and then it is his turn. So you did damage. However, he is a goblin. He is going to. So
I did 1 damage. I'm more correct in magic based.
I hear you. I see you. You are heard. You are valid.
I
One,
tickled him.
2.
I tickled
3,
him with a bit of communist magic.
He rounds the corner, and you see he has a "Don't Tread on Me" Gadsden flag T-shirt on. He wheels round the corner, and using the dagger that Astrid so kindly gave to him, with a 14 to hit. I'm going to guess that misses. Yeah, AC 15. He tries to stab you, and you dodge out of the way. The power of communism on your side. And then that's 4, and then he's going to bonus action. Bonus action disengage, and he scurries like through your legs, literally between your legs, Astrid, and he through there towards the secret door that you believe to be there. Doesn't have any more movement, but that is Naylin again.
I am going to shoot with my bow at little scurrying creepy guy.
17 hits. 9 points of piercing is going to do it. Splat. You either kill him in 1 hit or do 1 damage. There is no no in between with anyone. So with your still glowing foot, you fire off a shortbow shot, pinning this dude to the wall, and you've still got bonus action and a whole bunch of movement left.
I'm gonna have a look in the secret tunnel, see if there's anything in there.
Okay, yeah, move your token up and it will automatically reveal.
Where am I?
Stone giant.
Oh fuck! Yeah, you guys were actually meant to reach level 5 before you came in here.
Bitch. Oh, hello.
Yes, so you see the guy who tried to stab you skittering around the corner, and he appears to be barking orders at something in Goblin.
Oh, brilliant. Fuck my life.
Is her reaction vocal? Can we hear it?
Depends.
No.
Okay, good.
I think she's sort of just seen them and gone, I'm gonna kill you.
Hey, you fucker. Okay, cool, yeah. So you
Oh fuck, it's his turn next.
oh, so it is. Oh, isn't that fun? You still have a load of movement left if you want to like see him and then go nope and turn around and
Just
run
sort of
back. Decide against that. Yeah, I mean you're absolutely welcome to. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, cool. So he is going to, because he didn't have a bow, he only had a knife. How much movement does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He would overextend himself a little bit by doing so. Now he's going to do this. Okay, yeah. He scurries further down. You don't see him come back around the corner. Astrid.
Right. I'm gonna pick up my dagger.
Mhm.
And does it look like
thing down here will loop back around by any chance?
To the left or to the west, yes, it would. Where that secret door, the thing that stabbed Armrock came from.
Right. I'm gonna move and wait, is the door by here or by here?
It is directly to the right of where that goblin has died.
Right, I'm gonna try and open that door stealthily.
Okay. So we knock on the door like to get someone's attention, or knock on the door to like open it.
Open it.
Okay, cool. You creep forward, and it's very easy to do. It's like it's painted to look like stone, but it's basically made of like plywood, and you can just like sort of shuffle it out the way, and you see a mirroring up here, a hallway that leads down, some small staircase, and then the wall has begun to sort of collapse inwards. You can travel through it, but it is difficult terrain, as there's clearly been some kind of over the many years, it's begun to fall apart a little bit.
Okay, I'm gonna get down to there just to see what's around the corner.
Okay, cool. You see something very interesting. You get around to that corner, and peeking through, you see a goblin with a dog slicer to a man's throat, like a human man, dragging him, and he's like like his eyes are flickering open and shut, and he's just dragging him backwards towards the north.
Wonderful. Am I able to throw a dagger at it?
At the goblet, it will have cover, I think, because it's like you can just see like its arm. But yes.
Okay, cool. I'll have that sneak because he's not seen me yet. Oh, please.
Yeah, that's gonna do it. 10 points of damage. Yeah, the human's body sort of like slumps, and you for a second like, oh shit, did I hit him? But then you see it breathing and the pool of goblin blood just to the west of him as he dies.
End of my turn.
Cool. And then here, buddy. Natural 1 for initiative, but he's here nonetheless. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another one skittering around the corner towards you with a 14 to hit, so that's not going to hit. If only I had advantage, that would have done 7 points of piercing damage and knocked him unconscious. And it's Gobhound's turn, because he can't do anything, he's just a goblin. And then we are back up to Armora.
Amira. 5.
Please start every turn like that.
Amira.
It's like Count from Sesame Street.
One communist. Communist.
1 capitalist pig dog. 2 capitalist pig dog.
5, 10, 15, 20. Can I make it past her because she's difficult terrain, isn't she?
Yeah. How much movement do you? Where did you start this turn?
I started here. I've got
Okay.
I've got 10 feet left.
Yeah, so you can basically end your turn in the same space as Astrid.
I mean,
He's
does Astrid consent?
She's tiny. To be fair, you'd be able to fit in the same space as her.
And I will fit in the same space as her. In fact, you know what? I'm going to dash. I'm going to dash into this room.
Mhm.
I'm going to run past her. Oh, and there's a goblin.
Yes, you see a goblin there who appears to be asleep.
30. Oh, asleep?
Yes, he's
Sweet. I will stay here then. And
Okay,
turn around to Astrid. Is it Astrid?
Astrid, yeah.
Astrid, and say shh, and then kind of say sleeping, like in as pretend that I'm sleeping.
Yeah, like you put 2 hands together
Yeah,
and put them
kind
beside
of
your
against
face.
the
Yeah.
tree, yeah. She has no idea what you're doing.
Laying on a fish? I what?
Yeah.
Astrid loudly
Because-
shouts,
In like, I guess underwater, it'd be similar to like how you sleep on like the International Space Station. Like you sort of just strap yourself to a wall with seaweed. There's no lying down involved. Okay, Honu, it's your turn.
Yeah, I see the mutt, and I move towards, and I give him a bash with my maul.
Go for it.
Oh, mace, Stephen. I
Yeah.
apologise.
I was going to say, yeah. Well, I thought you only had one two-handed weapon. No, you're probably a bit dizzy from all the in and out of shells becoming.
Yeah.
So you sort of stumble over and miss with the attack.
Nah.
Okay. So it is now the goblin who's asleep's turn. He continues to be asleep. Naylin, you're up.
I am going to pull out my mace and try and like smack its jaw off.
Okay. Finality. That's a cool last name. Yeah, that's 17 hits. Exactly how many hit points he has. There is a sickening crunch as this thing hits the deck.
And then I'm sort of just gonna point to Hanu, and then down the tunnel, and then start walking off down the tunnel.
Okay, the one to your east. Yeah, cool. So you go around this way and you see like Amra pretending to be asleep, and the like head, right arm, and shoulders of an unconscious human man who appears to be breathing.
I didn't even notice the unconscious human man.
So obsessed with the sleeping goblin. Here, I'll put a little. Yeah, he's got some Z's, and I give him some Z's as well because he's asleep. Oh, no, he's not asleep. He's unconscious. Let's give him. Do I have a stunned token? I do. Little man with stars around his head. Look at me go. Made that in paint all by myself. 1 second.
Hey, well done. Boom, 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 boom.
Apologies. I was summoned to move my van. Okay, so, Naylin, you scurry around the corner. You see this dude knocked out on the floor with the goblin that has been pestering you. Sort of, like, looks like he's kind of underneath his shoulders a little bit, but upon taking a second, you can see there is a wound in him. Or there's a knife sticking out of him, and it looks like he was trying to drag him, but got taken out while doing so. So that is your turn. Unless, actually, do you want to do anything on your turn? I don't think you have any other things to do.
No, I don't.
Astrid.
Cool. I'm going to move. So that's 2, 4. Yeah.
You can use arrow keys to move your token if it makes it easier. Just a PSA to everyone. Yeah, well, there's a grid. You can move around. It makes like counting squares a lot faster in my brain. I don't know why.
Cool. I'm gonna pick up my dagger again because that's going to be a long-running thing, isn't it? And I'm gonna throw the dagger again at the sleeping goblin.
Nice.
That definitely does it.
I'm done with this.
Well, here's the thing. Because he's incapacitated, that's an automatic critical hit.
Oh, wonderful.
So roll another D4 and another D6.
I was like, what is it? What is it? She was like, a toilet brush. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Oh, that's more like it. So, 1, 2, 3, 9, 10, 14. So.
Ollie, I've just changed my screen and I can now see everything.
Everything.
Yeah, everything. I can see the whole map.
Crap.
Can you refresh your page and see if that fixes it?
How dare you?
How have you managed that then?
I don't know. I was in the kitchen and now I've come back to my laptop and plugged it in, and I can see everything now. But it is back to how it was.
Okay, yeah, that's really weird.
Well, I was playing over the weekend with some friends, and just one group, they just saw black, whereas everyone else, the dynamic lighting worked, and it was just so weird that all the settings were the same, but they just couldn't see anything.
Yeah, Roll20 is a bit strange sometimes. Like there's a bug where if you try and upload one picture by itself, it takes like 2 minutes. But if you upload 8 pictures, it does them all in about 30 seconds. No idea why, but you know. So you can now only see what your character should see, right?
So yeah, I can now see, but my patron has spoken to me
Mhm.
and has given me insight into the terrain and the layout.
Yeah, your eyes roll back,
Yeah.
and you start like speaking in tongues, and it you get a vague idea of where the rest of the dungeon might be.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Astrid, the way I'm gonna rule this, because you're killing someone that's asleep, it's like the idea of slitting someone's throat. You like technically speaking cannot slit the throat of anyone above like 4th level or some shit because they have so many hit points, which is ridiculous. So he's gonna make a Constitution save against all that damage. If he fails, he's just dead. Doesn't have a bonus to his Constitution. Natural 5. So yeah, you throw a dagger, and because he's asleep, it just gets him. He cannot dodge in any meaningful way, and goes and dies
Slices his throat. As it guides through the air.
from a distance.
All this while, Amon-Ra is chanting Kalima, Kalima.
It is seen. Okay, right. So I think that is everyone who is currently getting rowdy. So yeah, we'll leave initiative. You all like pause for a second, and then quiet. You don't appear to be being rushed by anyone else.
Picking up the dagger.
Okay, you pick up your dagger.
Can I medicine check the man?
Sure, yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
Forgot about that guy.
Medicine check.
Okay, 17. He is making death saves, and you just made him stabilize.
Ooh,
He appears to have been very. One sec. Whew, dearie me.
Bless you.
Thank you very much. He appears to have been very poorly mistreated. The image isn't especially. Oh, actually, wait, I wrote this down.
Is he a soldier? Like, because in the icon, it
In
looks
the
a bit
picture, he has wearing armor. He is not wearing armor. He is wearing rags. He does have the build about him like he would be. He would at least know his way around a weapon. He's like fairly built, and his haircut and the styling of him. He isn't like. He's not wearing a commoner's rags, if that makes sense. It looks like he's wearing the undershirt, like what you'd wear underneath plate armor.
do any of us
But there's no
recognize
plate armor to be seen. Say again?
Do any of us recognize him?
No. I mean, you've seen humans before. You might, you might have seen him about, but not like no one goes, oh, "That's my dad." Like that's no.
Right.
No one recognizes him.
About the undergarments, do we recognize them as like
Regimental or anything.
yeah, like from that, can we deduce sort of who he's aligned with?
Make a history check. So I'll give you 2 pieces of information for this. So one, the undergarments aren't necessarily like branded or made obviously aligned to any particular faction, but that is because they are old. They are older than the war. This guy's, I mean, just going for the picture, I don't know if you can sort of see, he's a bit of a silver fox. He's got a bit of grey hair, and he's scraggly beard a little bit. So he looks like he's maybe in his late 40s, early 50s. And the undergarments he's wearing, and presumably the equipment he was wearing before, are from a time before there were dressings.
Is it safe to deduce that he's been in captivity for that long as well?
For that long, no, because from what you like looking at him, he looks like he hasn't eaten or drunk anything in days.
Okay.
And you're guessing if he was treated like that for a while, he'd be dead. He would have been dead a long time ago. So he's clearly not been here very long. But during the time he was treated very poorly.
Okay.
Let me just describe the room very quickly. So you're in this sort of like another mini corridor with the stairs leading down halfway through. Directly north of this goblin who's asleep, he's got like a miner's hat on, like a hard hat with a candle stuck on it. Directly north to him there is a door, and directly south to him there is a door. And these aren't secret doors; they are just regular old doors.
I'd like to go around to every goblin that we've met, just really quickly run and get it done, get all their ears and chop off the rest one.
Okay, so that is make a nature check.
Oh dear. Okay.
You notice that the goblin dogs, they are goblin dogs for a reason. They appear to have something biologically, like they are adjacent to goblins, and their ears, with a suitable deception check, you could pass them off as goblin ears.
Wonderful, I'll do that too.
Cool. So mark down that you have 7. This is including the previous combat, so 4 more goblin ears, and 4 goblin dog ears. Oh, sorry, make that 5 goblin ears. 5 goblin ears, 4 goblin dog ears. Also, as you're going round, you see a couple of things. I'm going to move your token around a bit randomly so you can like get an idea of where everything is. So back to the main chamber, through here, and
I'm going to explain to everyone what my patron showed me, that there are more goblins.
Great.
So just randomly moving the token around, just to give you like a. Oh wait, that's meant to be gone. An idea of like everywhere around here. So let me just double check what you can see. Yeah, so you can see the. Because when I use Control L, it makes it look like the edges of all of the walls are like blocky and like it's every square rather than the actual edges of the walls.
Yeah.
Does it look the same for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like it goes like steps. Okay, right. So it probably won't be abundantly clear then, but this northern area up here, I'll move your token to it now. Oh shit! Why can't I move? Oh my god! There we go. So it heads up like northward or northeast from there, mirroring the other side. As I said, all of these corridors are mirroring each other, but it is cut short abruptly by a rather large pile of rubble. It looks like the ceiling's fallen in.
Okay. Cool.
And I'll move token back there. Cool. And you also saw another door to the southeast there. I'll ping that if you can see it. And then also directly ahead of you, there appears to be a rather large, another sort of, the ceiling has fallen in. And there's just like a massive pile of rubble in front that is sealing off any further entranceway. And lying next to it, there are 2 pickaxes.
Cool.
As you're all sort of like recouping, taking a breather, are you guys going to rest or anything, or take a short rest?
I mean, I'd like to.
Seeing Amun Ra like sit down and rest, I think Hanu would follow suit.
Yeah, cool. So you sit down. You feel free to, if any of you actually get anything back on a short rest, but feel free to get that back. Roll hit dice if you so desire. And during said short rest, you start to hear the breathing of the human man who you have sort of brought back to good health or better health. His breathing starts to like become deeper, become stronger, and he takes like one big breath in And his eyes flicker open.
I feed him some of my water skin.
Okay, he as you're handing the water skin, he's like his eyes are like crusted shut. It looks like he's like been beaten around the head a little bit, and there's a bit of blood that's sort of encrusted on his face, and it's like crusted over one of his eyes. So when it opens, it like cracks all the dried blood away.
Yeah, I obviously I've
Clean him up a little bit.
clean him up a little bit.
So you give him some water, and he like starts asking like, "Who are you? What?" Like he's like, "Get your hands off me immediately!" And then like asking who you are, and then you start giving the water, and he just shuts up and drinks and drinks and drinks and drinks, and then he probably vomits because he drinks too quickly, and then like it takes a second, and then keeps drinking, and then he just spends a couple of minutes just like taking big deep breaths in, trying to sort of wake himself up, basically.
Can I ask who he is?
Mechanically speaking, he is at 1 hit point, basically.
Can I ask who he is?
He,
I can't do a Russian accent.
I'm sure you can find a accent
like,
you cannot.
Before the session, I was nailing it, and now that I've got an audience, I just can't. I just can't get the words out.
Performance anxiety.
Yes, it is. I apologise.
That's the thing. To be good at Dungeons and Dragons, you have to not be scared of looking like an idiot, because you look like an idiot for about 5 seconds, and then it's no longer me doing a stupid voice. It's then the goblin.
I look like an idiot most of the time.
I find it's easier if I close my eyes when I do a stupid voice, because then it makes me stress out less. Don't know why. So as he's taking a deep breath in, like some of the blood has been like washed away from his face from just like drinking the water so viciously. He turns to you, Umra, and he sort of like nods and regards you and says, my name is Ulbrich. Yeah, thank you. Who are all of you? And you notice he has a rather distinct posh tone to his voice.
We are but level 1 adventurers.
Oh, I understand this term immediately and with great understanding. He sort of like he kind of gets. He's like, oh, the rat catchers. That's probably what he would call you, rat catchers, which is the.
Does he actually call us rat catchers?
That's sort of like the low level, what people call low level adventurers.
In Soviet Russia, that is actually a very prestigious term.
Is that the kind of person who kidnaps and disappears political dissidents by any chance?
I can neither confirm nor deny that.
Yes. The motherland requires your silence. So let me just see. He is played by an actor. Most of the like I said last time, most of the interesting characters are played by actors. So Pinner, played by Kieran Shipka. Where is he? What the fuck? I wrote it down somewhere.
So
It's not
back
on
in a
here.
second. I'm just going to check on my cheesecake.
Okay. How do you cook a cheesecake?
in the oven.
Okay.
Well, you can either do like a non-baked one or a baked one.
Right. Okay. So there is a there is like a
to kind of keep them solid.
gotcha. Because like it's cheese. I wouldn't think you put it in an oven, but it makes sense.
Chill it down.
Where the fuck? I must have thrown away the note I made. Oh wait, no, it's in my big fuck off book. I've got so many books. I've got like conspiracy theorists, like that scene from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where he's got like the pictures on the wall and he's like attached them all with string. I've got that on my coffee table with all the characters' names on it. So I'm sorry, excuse me. Fucking hell, where is it? He is played by. Where is he? Eamon Farron. An older Eamon Farron, I think. Let me just double check. No, he's not played by Eamon Farron. That's the wrong person. Where the fuck is it? Is it this guy? I've got all the names in the wrong order. Yes, he is played by Adam Levy.
Hey.
The guy who played what's his face McGee in Witcher. I will put a picture of him in the chat. There you go. This is kind of the look he's got. He's old, distinguished, but in his current state is a bit beaten up. Like his hair's bedraggled, and he's a bit older than the actor is in this. He's, like I said, he's in his probably early 50s.
My cheesecake is doing well.
It kind of does look a bit rusky.
He
Is he Russian as well?
no, he is posh English, because it's the easiest voice to do. He looks at all of you, looks at all of you for a full second and takes you all in. You see, he's got that professional courtesy where he looks at a turtle and most people are like, holy shit, what is that? It's immediate flinch. He's doesn't even phase him. He clearly probably does phase him, but he's got sort of that it is my job not to be rude or ask questions, so I will not remark upon this. Fucking hell. I moved my books and now everything's falling apart.
Can I make my eyes blink twice? Like in Men in Black, when he goes on about how his eyes blinked and then a whole totally different set of eyes blinked.
Oh yeah, how the inside
reptilian
eyes blink. Sure.
Yeah. I'm gonna make my eyes do that.
Okay. He sort of. Are you doing it pointed, you looking directly in his eyes, and
oh gosh, yeah, I want him to notice.
Okay.
If he's not freaked out by Turtle, I want to try and freak him out.
He the fact that you do it pointedly appears to us what freaked him out. You could have set your head on fire and not flinched, and he would have been like, okay, that's just this guy's thing. But the fact that you look him dead in the eyes as you do it, he's like, okay, that's now it's not just that's who he is, that's what he's doing to me, if that makes sense. You're trying to make an impression, and he regards you, nods, maybe frowns a little bit, okay, that's a bit weird, and he begins to stretch all his arms out, and you see he sort of grabs one of his shoulders and flinches, and rolls his arm back, and he's trying to sort of work out all the clinks that might be in him, because he's clearly been, you can see around his wrists, there are very serious rope burns. He's clearly been in tied up for some time, so he's just stretching out and trying to get his bearings again. He still looks half conscious.
The pickaxes that you mentioned, are they relatively close, and do they look like they're in good repair?
They look like they were made incredibly well hundreds of years ago.
I will, as he's clearly doesn't seem to have any kind of protection, and that's the closest thing that looks like it could help. I will pick that up and one of the blades from the goblins and kind of have it ready to hand to him when he's kind of got himself together.
He sees you sort of getting the equipment ready, and he says, "Thank you, my friend. I'm Ulbrich," and he doesn't hold out a hand to kiss it, but that's kind of what he does. He's doing the polite thing as he greets you. Whenever he tries to introduce himself, you see he tries to stand up as he does so, but he's too weak. He sort of half stumbles and is okay, right, I can't stand up when I introduce myself, which is a polite thing to do. And you sort of present him with these weapons, and he reaches out with his right hand and picks up the pickaxe, and he immediately flinches, and you see there is some serious swelling around his right hand's wrist, and he sort of winces a bit, almost tucks it into the gap between two buttons on a shirt, and picks up the dagger with his left hand instead, and sort of tries to figure out.
If anything, you could use it as a crutch.
Well, I was just going to say, can I give him my quarter stuff that he can use to sort of help?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. He would. You are most kind, and that with that he is able to stand up. It looks like standing is painful for him, but he is more concerned. It would be against my vows to take something without asking for it first. I thank you.
Sorry to interrupt. I was away for a bit. Did we ask him who he was and what he was doing?
Ulbrich.
Oh, I put it in chat, but I didn't actually, I've got on talk to myself, so I'll put it in again. Ulbrich. Spelt the not English way. Ulbrich with CH.
And do we know who he is or what he was doing?
No. He, at the moment, he's just like sort of trying to wake himself back up, basically.
I ask him, what were you doing in these parts?
I received a vision from my deity, the Dawn Father. He instructed me to purge this place of evil, and I came expecting orcs. I wasn't prepared for orcs. Don't set traps. And he's like very clearly like been through the fucking ringer.
They did not do a very good job.
I could take 8 orcs in single combat, but goblins, they're tricky. They don't fight you head on.
Da.
Other than that, I know the what day is it? And he clearly has a very rough grasp on time. You know what day it is. The date, I don't.
Can I tell him it's like 3 years in the future?
He like make a deception check. Does he have a bonus to insight? Mm-hmm. He rolls a natural 1 and goes, surely you jest. There can be no way. I was. How have I? The grace of the Dawn Father has kept me fighting. This must be a divine mission. I must have been.
Oh my god!
I was kept alive for you. This is a sign.
I'm going to flick Amun-Ra on the forehead.
He sees that and like puts 2 and 2 together and goes, oh fuck. AC 18. Sorry, bro. Misses.
Sorry.
And he like looks at that little interaction and is like, oh, I understand. Levity. Yes. You must be a bard of some description. This makes sense. Sorry.
But I am a witty man.
Yeah, the gift of the gab is strong with you, though, even in a place as dark as this.
In Soviet Kraghammer, I am very funny.
Yes, the dwarves are notorious for their dry humor, and then he looks around, and impeccable craftsmanship. Do you know anything about this place?
No. Could Stow expand?
This was a old dwarven settlement from many years ago. Evacuated. It was I know not the specifics, but it was a sort of this building itself was a monastery. You saw the rubble outside, correct?
Mm.
That was the rest of the settlement before it was before nature took it back. It spanned for quite some distance beyond here, but the landslides over especially during the calamity, they have ruined whatever was left. This only remained because it was built into the rock rather than on top of it.
Okay.
How far does this go down?
It was, from what I understand, there's one particular goblin is in charge, and he was never far from where I was being kept. So it can't be. It can't be that it goes on for much longer. I mean, and he sort of like motions to the rubble. Says it seems they were trying to go further, but this is the as far as it goes.
Well, we've managed to clear out quite a few.
He like looks around at all of you and sees like your bloodied weapons and that sort of thing, and he sort of nods. Yes, it seems you've made just work of these foul creatures. I appreciate you completing the job, or I could not.
We've
The
made
Dawn
it
Father
this
must
far.
surely be with all of you.
But, perhaps we should press on.
Yes, it does not. It does not do to linger, and he like brings himself to full standing height, using the court staff that Amra has given him. So, yes, we must press further on. Have you examined the chambers surrounding here?
Back the way we came, yeah. Further on.
He motions to the areas like basically directly north and south of that dead goblin, and he explains to the south was where he was kept. I'll move. If you move your tokens around, you can see in there. It's like a half collapsed room with like a skeleton caught under the rubble. And then to the north, let me just double check.
Yeah. My Supreme Emperor says we're not alone. There's still more here to come.
Emperor, you say?
My Supreme, yes. Da.
He like squints at you. Make a religion check. Tristrasig is known as the Supreme King.
Oh shit, okay, then I would not have used that terminology.
And there is a god called the Strife Emperor. So you're weaving a very
yeah. I was just
line.
I was just flavouring some communism.
Your roll 20 acting up.
So this room here, where the rubble is that as big as the room goes, or does it go deeper than that?
It appears that that is as far, and again, going off of the idea that these rooms are mirrored.
I want
to
see what the dead body is then.
Yeah,
What
sure.
the
Make a medicine check.
Medicine. Probably not my strong point, but.
7. It's a dead body. It's been dead for a while. It doesn't look very big.
Is there anything on the remains that seems?
Let me just check.
Notable.
Make a. Actually, no. This would be everyone like make passive. What's your passive investigation?
13.
I don't know if you have a decent.
Passive investigation.
Investigation, yeah.
Hold on.
That's your 10 plus if you have an investigation modifier.
It is. Where are we? Investigation 11.
Okay. You like it's a corpse very clearly, and it is very very old. Like the fact that the rubble has covered it and it appears to have died in like the rubble landing on it indicates that this thing has been here for a very long time.
No worries, that's fine. I'll move
on. Before you go anywhere, there is, I think, something in the room to the north. Let me just double check. Where is it, man? I've got it written down somewhere, but for some reason I cannot find it. Okay. Pages on pages.
With recent activity, Hunter would probably just rush in the room and swing at anything that moves.
Okay. nothing moves, so you swing at nothing. Um,
He does it anyway.
Yeah.
Just goes,
showed him. It's like that video that came out recently of the police officer who was riding on top of a police car, fell off, and then pepper sprayed his own shadow because he thought there was someone trying to attack him. It's very funny. You find, where is it? No. Here we go. So, where is it? Okay, yeah. So you find a total of basically like a tooth necklace made out of what looks like gold teeth that have been pried from people's mouths, with 4 gold teeth on it and 15 silver pieces in a small, like, dirty sack in one of these drawers. This is basically some kind of either storeroom or like treasure vault.
Sure. Well, I pocket it just for now.
Yeah, no problem. Cool. Grab that.
Is this clean water in this room?
It's not really. No.
Okay. That's fine.
It's like, it's kind of like if you got drinking water from like a local river. Like, it's not filthy, but it's probably not the best for you. But in these days, it's probably like as good as it's going to get. Looks a bit stale though.
I mean, I've got the wonder of feet, so would it suffice for me to refill my
Oh yeah,
water?
absolutely.
Yeah. It's not going to.
I mean, with your constitution as well, I don't think you could catch anything from the water. And I'm not particularly interested in role-playing the mechanics of you contracting cholera and dying. So we'll leave it there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I find nothing else in the room. I leave.
Cool. So you head out. At this point, Ulbrich has sort of like stood up. He's stretching a little bit, clicking his back, and he's sort of poking his head around the corner, like trying to see. You know, it's very clear that he's quite anxious to get going. He's divinely compelled to clear this plate out of the evil that lies within.
Oh, he's going the wrong way though. No.
Oh, there's 2 ways.
Oh.
Oh, actually, what direction are you intending to go?
Well, I thought we were pressing forward.
Well, further through this way, it's blocked off by rubble.
Okay.
Well, can you? Let me see if you can't see that. Okay, right. Yeah, that's the problem. I will tell you what. Go on, dynamic lighting. Because I thought that dynamic lighting, it like, well, essentially it was better than it is. So, how is? Can you now see?
Yeah,
there's if there's a cave in. By the looks of it, it could be dug out. Hence why there were pickaxes, and this goblin appears to be sleeping on the job. Hence why he had the miner's helmet.
Probably take too long.
Yeah, but it would take a while. Yeah, you're not going to get it done in the next 5 minutes, at the very least.
That's fine. Hanu will stick relatively close to Aldrich.
Yeah, Ulrich. Yeah, sure. He is very clearly like he wants to put his hand on your shoulder and like support himself with your weight, but doesn't feel that's not the proper thing to do. So he carries on with his staff, and yeah, he's going to go up north because he can't go through the difficult terrain. And I'll just move him into the next room. He doesn't ever like charge ahead of you, but it's very clear that he's like, we should surge forward. Like wants to go on.
So we're going down to the right down this way.
Yes, so there are 2 ways you can go. There is, if I move your token here, there is up and to the right or down and to the right.
Where is everyone?
I'll move your token. Actually, sorry. Could everyone make a perception check? And I need to rewind a little bit. I just forgot to move tokens around.
Good. Rolling well.
So I'm going to move you all back into this hallway. Sorry, completely forgot because I wanted to move the tokens, but I didn't know if you could see like. Tell you what, can you still see what's in the middle main room? Can you see the tokens that have just appeared there?
No.
Okay, cool. Now I know. Oh, fun. So you hear Honu and Nailin as you're like cresting around this corner. You hear conversation in Goblin. There is like two chittering, gross voices. Something
I
growling.
grab onto Aldrich's shoulder to stop him from going forward.
He does appear to be like he hears that and
Yep.
his ears prick up. And he's like, we must surge onward. And you hear two like gross little voices bickering with one another, and then one like deeper voice. And when he speaks, the other two shut up.
When we was in that room originally, the trap that was there with the falling rocks, was that pointed out to everyone, or was that only Astrid that saw that?
Well, that's up to Astrid, yeah.
No, it was Nailin that saw it.
Oh,
Oh.
was it? Okay, yeah. So
Okay.
would Nailin have relayed that information? You
Yeah,
had a short
yeah.
rest. It's been like an hour.
Sure. No worries. Okay. I'm just gonna do a roll for myself just to see if it's something I would come up with or not. Oh, I probably would come up with that then. I will enter the room as quietly as I can to try and go round to where the where that rope was attached to.
Okay, make a stealth check.
This is probably not going to go well.
You step into this area here, and you like there might be like a loose arrow or something on the floor, or like a dog slicer that got dropped, and you just ting 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 kick it, and it bounces into the hallway, and you hear, and then like three voices that were previously talking all shut up at the exact same time.
Yeah. If nothing happens, I'll run to that same space, knowing that that's the case.
Okay. So the second you step out, there will be held actions against you. So if everyone is about to hop in behind, I would like you to roll initiative once again. How is everyone doing with their health, by the by?
I am now full health, so.
Okay. I'm going to say the inflict wounds has now worn off. You do not have a glowing foot anymore. It's been like an hour.
Ooh, 7. Oh, my leg.
Right, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, right. Okay, right. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is all of you. I will have. Actually, I'll roll initiative for him. So he's going to act on someone's turn, but it doesn't seem fair to pin him to anyone. Okay, yeah, cool. Excellent. Right, so first up, Astrid, what's your dex modifier?
My dex is a +3.
Okay, cool. So I'll just move you to a 20, so you are definitely first. You hear Honu like kick something and then get ready to start sprinting. You hear those voices like all shut up at the same time, and you know shit's about to go down.
Okay. Oh dear. The moving about is not working for me. Right. Okay. Cool. 1, 2. Is diagonal 1
5 foot?
One
or is
square.
that-
It's worth 1 square. Unless like there's a particular like thing. Like I wouldn't necessarily say it's 5 foot to move from like round a corner, like all the way around
Most people count it
a
as
wall.
10, don't they? But yeah, I
Yeah.
feel the same.
Yeah. In previous editions, it was like every other diagonal was 10 foot, which makes more sense in my experience. But yeah. Either way, no, 5 foot to move diagonally, unless like there's some bullshit stopping you.
Cool. Well, looks like I'm climbing on a shell again. This is going to go well.
Okay. Sorry, excuse me. Sorry. Climb over Nailin onto Honu.
Right.
And I'm going to roll a stealth check for this guy to see if you can see him. That is a 13, so your passive perception beats him. So you can see this guy up here, like ready and waiting with a short bow for someone to come around the corner.
Wonderful. I'm going to shoot him with my short bow.
Go for it.
Stealth. Oh, that's not going to hit.
Fortunately, 10's going to miss. Ting off the side, and he like sort of now realizing that maybe he wasn't as well hidden as he would have liked.
Wonderful. I'm going to hold on for dear life again.
Okay. So now this guy, he is going to do 2 things. Okay, cool. It's his turn. Albrecht is going to just... This is full movement speed. He's got fucked up leg. Then it is the one that you shot at. It is going to duck out from here and fire at you with a short bow. 6 misses, and then he is going to duck back behind here and attempt to use a stealth check to hide. Okay, yeah, you don't see... Well, this sounds stupid, but you don't see where he goes. So he is hidden, and then it is Honu again.
I do what I intended to do. I go around the corner,
Mhm.
and I begin to head to the rope.
Yep, that one there.
Yep, and I pull on the rope.
Okay, are you
cut the rope
pulling on
all
it
the way.
now, or are you waiting for more people? Because there's only one person in the area at
I don't
this
know
moment
that.
in time. Or
That's enough.
Okay, so yeah, you roll to check to see if you think of it, not if you
Yep.
do it properly. Okay, yeah. So I will roll a dexterity save for this guy.
I mean, he's relatively clever as far as barbarians go, but he's not that clever.
If you'd be so kind as to roll 4d6.
Yes, I will.
That is 1 goblin down. You yank on the rope, and then it's like a Rube Goldberg machine. Like you yank on the rope, and it like breaks somewhere else.
Yeah.
A rock fall, like rolls down a slope, hits something, and this whole net, just like all 4 corners of it at the exact same time, just go ping and snap.
Yeah.
And probably about 5 metric tons of rubble and rock
Yeah.
fall on 1 goblin. This whole area is now difficult terrain, and a massive cloud of dust fills the room, making it quite difficult for everyone to see as it just billows
And
throughout.
I'd like to rage.
Okay.
With my achievement of squashing a goblin, I just go arms
In
out
celebration.
to the side. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool. That's got to be quite an imposing figure, I'd imagine. Like this suddenly huge billowing cloud of like dust and smoke, and this one goblin who's just to the south of you is it just sees like basically a turtle T-posing, trying to intimidate him as much as possible. Awesome. Okay, cool. So that is your turn. Ra, you're up. You see Albrecht has shuffled on ahead of you, but he doesn't appear to be going very fast.
5, 10, 15, 20. I can just about... Oh, he's dead. I don't see anyone, so I'm just going to hold my action.
Mm-hmm. What you do see is just like a massive cloud of
dust
filling the room. Yeah.
You see a turtle-sized shadow with arms wide.
Yeah, a T-posing turtle.
I'm going to dash over here.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. You go around. You see. Actually, I don't know if you would. Let's tell you what. Let me see the spell. One second. Just see how this spell works. Okay, so you have basically you can see everything has like cover in 10 feet of you, and then everything beyond that has like 3/4 cover because it's very difficult to see them. Not completely blind, mind you. Like you can still make out shapes. It's just like if you try and look too hard, you'll get dust in your eyes and shit. And that is your turn, and then we've got the fattest goblin any of you have ever seen. I'm just gonna move him onto the middle of the map here, so you can all just take a good old look at this chunky boy.
Brilliant.
Yeah, have a look at that. He waddles forward, and how much movement does he have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, he is going to 1, 2, yeah, 3, 4, clamber on top of the altar, and he is now like the same height as Honu, but not as and just as wide because of his very apparent eating disorder. And he is then going to take some attacks against you with his dog slicer. Oh, that's a yowza. Honu, would you be so kind as to roll a d20 for me?
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Would you be so kind as to roll another d20 for me?
Oh my god.
Okay. Instant death.
Not instantly dead.
Oh my god.
However, this... I'm going to be honest, guys. This is pretty bad. So, okay, good news or bad news?
I don't mind.
Well, actually, good news or bad news?
Good news.
Good news 1 or good news 2?
Oh my god.
One.
Good news 1, he misses with a second attack.
Oh, two.
Good news 2, you are resistant to the damage he's dealing.
Okay.
However,
It's
you
a lot.
take 6 plus 6 plus 2, that is 14. 14 divided by 2, because you are raging, to 7 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
And 2 things happen. You are now heavily bleeding.
Okay.
It's the exact same thing that the first time you got hit, except it is a lot worse. At the start of your turn, you're going to take 2d8 bleed damage,
Ouch.
which is halved by your rage. And
Still, ouch.
and until you receive healing or
Medical help.
use an action to stop yourself bleeding.
Well, lucky
In
for
addition-
you, your cleric doesn't know any healing spells.
Oh,
Fuck
I'm
yeah.
most certainly aware of that.
In addition, you have received a major injury.
Yeah.
Edge of death. The creature has disadvantage on all Constitution and Death saving throws.
Oh, nice.
So, he runs up, slashes twice with his scimitar, and goes, and does like a victory pose, seeing that he hits you hard, and is not going to go anywhere. Nailin, that's you.
Oh, fucking hell, alright. I'm gonna come out over here.
It's not from the south anymore, by the sound of it.
If my screen would happily load, thank you. I'm gonna try and hit this. Oh, should I go for this one?
That's the sound of someone who's got 2 ideas and 1 spell slot.
No, I'm trying to use a cantrip,
Okay.
but I don't. Should I? Yeah. Right.
Harrow. What the fuck is that? I've never heard of it before in my life.
I
You
don't know
making up
how
spells
to.
on me?
I don't know how to send it as a thingy.
click on
So
the
is it an
speech
attack
bubble.
roll or a save?
It is.
It is a really shit place to live.
Wait, let me copy and paste this. Be easier than me trying to read it out.
Scowl this. Holy fuck! What book is this from?
I just Google.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's fine. It's not like it does 8d10 damage on an intelligence saving throw, and it's a cantrip. Like, so yeah, I'm fine with it being third party, whatever. Wisdom save. So, surprise, surprise, not very good at wisdom saves. What's your DC?
13.
Got a 12. Natural
Hey.
13 minus 1. So, how much damage does that do? So, 1d4 psychic damage and a minus 1d4 on its next thing. Oh, nice. So 4 points of psychic damage. You see, like, one of his eardrums pops and blood starts pouring out of one of his ears. And he, like, his eyes, like, go crossed a little bit and he looks very confused. I'll see if I can sort that thing out on your sheet. But anything else in the meantime?
Would this like big old dust bit count as dim light?
No. If anything, it would make it darker. I'm afraid.
So I can attempt to hide in it though.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna do that
obscured.
because I have that. What is it? It's bathed in moonlight or something, so it means that I can hide even if I am in just like dim light.
Okay, yeah, sure. That's not a problem. You are an innately stealthy elf, so you can duck away, no problem.
That's good, bitch.
Cool.
That's not where I wanted to go. I wanted to go there.
So,
Ooh,
just so
bitch.
you know,
Okay.
for spells that like they don't have an attack roll, if you go on the if you open your character sheet, you should be able to see it at the same time I'm doing it. Where
Yeah.
it says in like the description of all the spell, but where it says output, there's concentration, duration, spellcasting ability, innate, output.
Yes.
If you set it to spell card, then
okay.
when you do it, it will.
Description.
It should. Oh, what the hell? It should. Yeah, there you go. It will just give you like a block of text rather than an attack roll. Cool.
Okay.
So you run over that way, and so yeah, make a stealth check as you try and hide.
Oh, give me a sec.
Okay. You put your back up against this pillar to like sort of hide, and you feel the pillar give way, and you like duck inside it. Part of the wall is like canvas, and you feel your feet like stepping on loose objects in this sort of like hidden cupboard inside the pillar itself, and you are very well hidden. Then this gobhound, being blinded, does not know where that is. He's going to make a perception check to see if he can smell someone.
Oh, fuck off, man.
Wow, he does not have great. No, he's got advantage because he's got the keen smell. Let's have a go. Okay, so an 11. He doesn't know where you are. However, because some people are being unstealthy, see, he's not going to go that way because there's difficult terrain. He can't go that way because there's difficult terrain either. Yeah, that's more difficult terrain. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's not cracking yet. It's got 9 minutes.
Yeah. He scurries towards you, Amra, and he's going to try and take a bite out you. 11 to hit. Wow, rolling like garbage on the second half of the session. And that is going to be his turn. And it's Astrid. You see a gobbo hound scurry around the corner. Like you see like the shadow of it not too far ahead of you.
Wonderful. I'm gonna I'll try for shooting again. That'll go.
Yeah.
Why not?
Worked so well last time. 16 with the cover. Yeah, that's still going to hit. Obviously, it's just like a dog thing. It's not wearing any armor. 12 points of damage. Splat. Gobbo Hound is no more. Nicely done. So, bonus action and movement if you would like.
I'm gonna peek my head around here to see what the hell is going on.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't. Oh,
There you go. I'll make the token a bit bigger so you can see it. That's the beast goblin I was describing earlier.
Jesus.
Yes.
It is literally Jabba the Hutt.
Right, I'm gonna move to about here and make myself as flat against the wall as possible.
Okay, stealth check.
Please.
It's going to be harder because you are within 10 feet of him, but we'll see. Either way, you make yourself very well hidden. It seems he's more preoccupied with killing the big turtle man in front of him. However, that's you done. And then this guy's turn. So he got a 12 on his stealth check, so you know where he is. However, I also forgot to do his held action. That's my fault, so it's fine. He knows better than to try and interrupt his boss when he's killing. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's going to make a perception check and see if he can spot you, because he would ideally not like to. No, 4. He can't see anyone, so he's just going to join in and attack on you. Going with the dog slicer, that is a 13 to hit, so that's going to miss. And bonus action, 1, 2, 3, 4. He scurries back away this way. And then it is Ulbrich. He goes 1, 2, 2, 3. Continues to walk around the corridor. And Honu. So, start your turn.
Was it 2d8?
2d8, yes. If you'd like to, you can roll for it if you'd like. 11, half to 5. So you are still conscious.
Barely.
All you got to do is kill him in one hit.
Oh yeah,
How can it be?
yeah. Well, he's obviously gonna like attack, so he will. But it is with his mace.
Natural 1. I'm afraid the blood that you've lost, you are like struggling to stand up.
Yep.
And you swing and you're off balance and everything's going woozy.
Bonus action back in my shell.
Okay, thump, you jump into your shell. Hopefully that will give you some precious time as you need it. Omra.
I'm gonna take a step this way, and in his mind, the Jabba the Hutt hears the Russian national anthem, and I would like him to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Okay. Wisdom saving throw. That's a 3.
So he takes 10 psychic damage and is forced to run away from me.
Holy fuck. Okay, 10 psychic damage, and on his turn, or is it as their reaction?
As a reaction, as a reaction, he has to move as far as his speed allows away from me.
Okay. So I'm gonna say it won't be literally away from you, but like the place that is furthest from you is like round a bit. So he's gonna go 1, 2, 3. Get out of my way! Kicks this dude. 4, 5, and 6. Yeah. Oh wait, no, 6. He starts just running. Okay, cool. Yeah.
And
again,
in his mind, Honu hears, "You are welcome."
Let me see. Is this? This reminds me of a video I've seen. Let me see if the audio is going to play to the point where you can actually hear it. I'm really worried this is going to be way too loud. I don't know if you can hear that.
Barely.
It is. I'll just put a link to it in the chat, and you can listen to it in your own time. You know, while you're at work, if you're feeling bored. It's just 3 minutes 46 of nothing too crazy. It's,
Doesn't
it's,
sound too crazy, yeah.
this goblin screams and runs away. Oh, I just leveled up. I'm now level 4. Thank you, me 6bot. So you burst a couple of this dude's like 5 brain cells. He only has 2 left. And he begins running. Nice. Then it is his turn. So what happens on his turn? Is it? It's not feared for you permanently, is it? It's just like immediately. Then it runs, and then it can turn around.
It takes 3 damage. I must admit. No, it's not scared of me. It has to run away from me on its as a reaction.
Like in that instance, but now he's fine to do whatever he wants. Okay, cool. He's now scared of Honu because he thinks he hit him and then his brain exploded twice in very rapid succession. Yeah, 3, 4. He creeps round, and he has a special ability. We all love special abilities. Where he substitutes one of his attacks and a bonus action to tell one of his buddies to attack. So he is going to step round this way, and I think this is as far as he can get. Oh no, sorry. There's as far as he can get. Taking a slightly defensive position around the corner here, and then he shouts out to one of his buddies, says, "Come on, do it properly!" And he is going to get an attack using his reaction against Astron, because he's the only one within line of sight that isn't terrifying. However, I'm going to use that 1d4 negative from Nailin, so that is going to miss.
Is he able to see me? I'm like 23 sneak.
Oh shit! Yeah. I forgot you had a stealth check. What's he going to do then? Fuck. So he can't attack you, and we know Nailin's hidden. I think he's just going to. Oh, tell you what you can do, because he's a goblin. Yeah. He scurries, and he's going to throw. Because he can't do multi-attack when he's using. That is the wrong thing. Can't use multi-attack with a ranged weapon. That is an 11 to hit, Amon-Ra. I'm guessing that's not going to do it.
That will miss me.
He comes around the corner of this pillar and throws. It's basically just a very large, a very large crossbow bolt that he's using as a javelin. He hocks it towards you, and it dodges out of the way. And that is going to be his turn. And then Nailin. So you are like in a, like, you know, like the cupboards you get that have like curtains instead of actual doors. You're basically in one of them, but it's inside a pillar. I'm just not moving your token because otherwise you wouldn't be able to see anything.
Would I be able to like tell that this guy is like right next to it?
You can hear him going like on the other side of the wall.
Alright, then I'm going to swing my mace out the side and try and smack him square in the face.
Okay. 13's going to hit. He is using a bow. 7 points of bludgeoning damage. You, out of nowhere, he dies before he realizes what's happening. You just swing round and clock him in the back of the head and just like, it's like if you punched a hole in a watermelon, like there's just gunk everywhere and your mace is just like inside of his skull. Nicely done. He goes splat.
I'm going to move to this pillar and try and hide again.
Okay. So yeah, move that. So you go up there and you like sort of hoping it happened again, feel against it. This one does not have such a false compartment. Actually, with your passive perception, you also notice there were a couple of like things in there that you get the impression were hidden for a reason. But go up there and make a stealth check. 20 stealth, yeah, he has no idea you're there. And then we have background to Astrim. So with your stealth check, basically any attack that you do, you're going to get sneak attack on.
Wonderful.
I still can't see anyone. Oh, there's someone by there. Wonderful. I'm gonna poke my head around. Oh dear.
There you are. Funk. Nice.
I'm going to. Yeah, I'm gonna use my rapier. That'll do. 17 will hit,
17 will hit. Yep.
10 damage.
10 points of damage. For the first time on Tal'Dorei Monday's Alpha Backup Restart session, Astrid, how do you want to do this?
Hey.
I want to stab my rapier into his face and then slowly carve down and around to cut off his head.
You like Zorro, you know, he does like and he carves like a Z into the tree. You do that, but like an A, I guess, in such a manner where the cross across the middle of the A just cleanly decapitates him, and you balance the decapitated head on the end of your rapier, and the threat is no more.
Nice.
Nicely done. First time I've ever said, how do you want to do this? Oh, I get the thrill. Okay, cool. So, all the goblins are dead.
I would very much like to go back into that hidden compartment and see what was in there.
Interesting. Funny you should say that. So you go around and duck in. And now you know it's there. You can move like the curtain out of the way to get a bit of light in. And let me just find, I think it's this one. I've got all sorts of books I'm referencing from, so I'm sorry if this takes a little minute.
Would I need to make the 2d8?
Well, you do, because on your turn you can use an action to stop
I
bleeding.
thought it was
So
at the beginning of my turn. I
Oh
had
shit!
to
No, it
take
is
the
at the
damage.
beginning. Yeah. So yeah, roll 2d8, and if you don't roll 2 1s, then you're unconscious. You all see Honu just like he's sort of like he's in the shell, but then like one arm sticks out, and there's a very rapidly growing pool of blood underneath him.
Can anyone heal?
You can just attempt a medicine check. It's just like an action to stop the bleeding.
I'll have a go at that.
Go for it. Just don't roll a natural 1, and you'll be fine. Yeah. You are stabilized. You'll wake up in, I think it's an hour it takes to wake up unless you get healing from something else. So Naylin, you find a couple of quite interesting things. First of all, is anyone checking the bodies of the goblins as well? I assume you're cutting the ears off, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So add 2 more goblin ears. Oh, sorry, 3 more goblin ears and 1 goblin dog ear.
Did we account for the ones we killed outside?
Yes, yeah. I can add up the exact amount of goblins in total if you'd like. You should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Just double check that number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So yeah, there should be 12 goblin ears. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goblin dog ears. And that's in total. So on the goblin boss's body, you find a basically a little backpack of all of the shit that he likes that he doesn't want to give to anyone else. You find, and get ready to type this out, 600 copper pieces, 110 silver pieces, a little like statue of a frog carved out of what looks like ivory, which looks like it might be worth something. He's clearly kept it for a reason, and 2 vials filled with a like not neon red, but like a very hearthy red color. It looks like it's like if you've ever seen like dyed water with glitter in it. It looks like it's all sparkly on the inside. There's 2 of them.
Got that.
And then I should say that wasn't the thing you found inside the pillar. Inside the pillar, let me just make sure I get the right one. Yep. Nope. What is it? E5. You find inside this little tucked away area, it's a bit macabre. There are a number of skulls. All appear to be of the same humanoid race. You give it 5 minutes, you'll be able to figure out it's dwarven. They're like more, squat and blockier. However, there is also at the bottom of the, sort of in like a little recess in the floor, there is a little chest.
Oh, I've got all of that.
And you crack it open, and inside are 15 gemstones, all identical sapphires.
Lovely. I'll sort of mention it. And,
Oh, the sapphires are there.
So I wonder how much gold we'll get for these. Woo.
There isn't an appraise skill in 5th edition, so I couldn't tell you what to roll. I think it would just be intelligence, I guess, if you want to try and figure out how much the stuff is worth.
I mean, my intelligence isn't that bad.
Oh yeah, these sapphires would probably each go for 10 gold. Each.
That's not too bad.
So I'm just going to write out a list of everything that that you should have picked up by now, just to make sure that you have got everything. I'm not going to use the goblin ears because I'm sure by now you've picked those up. So done with that. Yep. Done.
Am I able to pick up as many daggers as I can find?
Absolutely, yeah. So that would be like, let's say there's 10 dog slices.
Awesome.
Done. That should be a list of everything, including the stuff that you found in the room where you, like near where you had the short rest. I believe. So 15 sapphires, 600 copper, 125 silver, 5 gold teeth, 2 red glittery potions, and ivory frog statue. And rolling over your intelligence check, the ivory frog statue is probably worth 40 gold. But you just got to find the right person to sell it to.
Do we know what the red glittery potions are?
I think with potions you just have to like take a sip. So you basically like put a little bit on your finger and taste it, and immediately you're like, oh yeah, that's potion of healing.
Can I do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, 2 potions of healing, and they do the 2d4 plus 2 healing each time.
Yes, these are potions of healing.
Red, like all good things.
Yes.
Okay.
Red, like Mother Russia.
Okay, let me get rid of that. I think that is, yeah, that's everything that you've, everything you found at least. Cool. Awesome. Right. So at this time, you're like sort of, looking over each other. You're patching up Honu, who is starting to come around a little bit, getting all of the treasure in order, and Albrecht comes around and he looks kind of upset that he didn't get to join in the fight, but gets like he probably would have been a hindrance if he tried to join in anyway. And he says, "You have done a great deed this day. I am. If I was a singing man, I would sing your praises in the taverns about the realm. Where are you all from? Where are you staying? I must admit I've been wandering for a while, so I'm not sure where I'm meant to be. Well, meant to be.
We currently call Gravesford our home.
Gravesford. I've heard of it. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yeah. This should be excellent. Yes. That should be no problem. I trust they will take an old man like me in. They've not much to offer until I can get my arm fixed. And you see he's used one of those pickaxes. He's taken the metal bit off and he's using the wooden like haft as a splint.
There is a place dedicated to the Dawnfather there. Thou mightst make use of it.
He, like, his chest sort of puffs out a little bit. He's like, yes, that will do just nicely. Perhaps the pastor will be so kind as to provide me with some healing. And Eli looks around at all of you. It looks like I'm not the only one who may need it. Well, shall we away? And at this point, Honu, you are 1 hit point. You are conscious again.
Wonderful.
Again, just like more red than green, just covered in blood. It's it's rough.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was fun. I mean, them little bastards, they hit pretty hard.
Ulbrich turns to you and says, "Yeah, yes, Fred, you can say that again." And he sort of like motions to himself. Just absolute shit kicked out of him.
Can I do I have enough energy to walk over? Like I don't want to make it obvious that I'm doing this, but walk over to the goblin leader, and I want to take his head off.
His head has already been removed.
I have it.
With Estrin's final blow.
Okay. Then.
So if you'd like to ask her for it, you're more than welcome.
No, I will still walk over in order to do it because I don't know that that's occurred. But then I kind of like have that look of disappointment that something was not there for me to do. But like I don't know.
If you look over at Astrid, she's got it on the end of her sword still, and it's kind of when you're like.
Parading
when you balance like a ruler on your hand, you're trying to keep it.
Does it look like Ned
At
Stark?
the end of the head.
Does it look like Ned Stark
spinning a basketball on your finger? But no, it makes more sense to be like balancing the meter stick in the palm.
You do see
the second the teacher leaves.
In that case, Astrid would see like a look of recognition that that's where the head is, but doesn't mention anything. But you see,
because it was out of your line of sight when he was actually killed. So
you kind of
at least you know where it is, and
making
it's not
an
away.
obvious like look at the head, like the skull, but then just doesn't say anything.
It's fine. She'll get bored in 5 minutes. Give it a while.
Okay, awesome. So, if you guys are all happy to do so, we will head back to Gravesford and end the session once you arrive. So, as you leave, making your way out, you go past all these ruined buildings again through that sort of main gateway, and you notice a fresh set of tracks leading up to the goblins that you killed and left there, and then immediately turning away and heading backwards. They appear to be humanoid, quite deep tracks, so something heavy, and there were multiple of them. Hard to say the exact number. It appears that someone showed up and saw that a load of goblins had died and was like, ooh, maybe not the best time, turned around and left.
Are they very distinctive prints?
Not in the slightest. They're like if you did like a 3-second drawing of what does a footprint look like, they look like that. It's literally like the shape of a foot, not barefoot or anything.
Okay.
But yeah, just something to note. In
that case, then just give me a sec. I just want to roll another roll for myself as we do these things.
And then, other than that, nothing of note until you arrive back at town. I believe it takes a day for you to get back, so everyone can long rest, get all your health back up, all your spells back, hit dice back, all that sort of thing.
Asterin would have given the head to Honu by now.
Okay.
Oh,
Like you're
wow.
sat by the campfire. You're like, oh, I'm bored of this now. It started to smell.
Okay, yeah. It kind of looks at you confused, but then does take it.
She's gonna nod and happily walk off.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Sorry, it's having a bit of curry. So you, if everyone long rest, get your health back to full. I will drag you guys back over to Gravershood as you arrive. So you get back, and as you do so, the guard Ryan, who's still there, on the eastern edge, there is a second guard of the town, but they are on the western side of the town, so don't you're going to see from them very often. And you start heading your way through, and you notice. Actually, everyone make perception checks and insight checks. Double whammy.
Sorry, what was that again?
Perception and insight. So, those of you who beat a 14 on perception, you see a number of horses tucked around the side to the east of the Half Hand Inn, which is the inn that you haven't been staying at. There's like no one goes there basically. It's sort of like a halfway house almost. They're not as people who aren't planning on staying in Gravershood go here. It's like not the local place. And there are a number of horses tied up outside. You continue to travel into the town. And with that insight check, you notice as you get to the main courtyard that things are a bit quieter than last time you arrived in the evening, because it is evening, it's like just gone sunset. Things are quieter. There's no like bawdy celebration coming from within the in the tavern as there was when you first arrived here. There's just it does appear to be people inside that you can hear a conversation, but not as much. It's a bit more subdued. And there are, so horses tied up outside Half Hand Inn, and a subdued populace in the Reluctant Pig.
Think it might be best if we hand in our bounties first, get our coin.
It will be closed at this time of night. It's gone 5 p.m. They've gone home.
Hanu goes to knock on the door anyway.
Okay. How long do you wait?
I bang the door and
until
then wait
they arrive
politely.
at 9 o'clock the next morning.
Politely wait, yeah.
Yep. And every 5 minutes, just knock, just in case they didn't hear you the last time.
Penny.
No, so they aren't there, but I mean, there's good reason to assume they'll be there tomorrow. But I think if it's okay with everyone, we will end the session there.
Yeah. I sent a message to you.
Yeah, I saw. Yes, I was just going to say, yeah, absolutely, you can do so. I mean, you can have salvaged the pieces that you needed from all the equipment that you didn't take from the goblins.
Oh, in that case, can I do something just finally before we finish then, if it's taken us a day to get here?
Go for it, yeah.
So Hanu will hold, gently tap Astrid on the shoulder from behind. The fight that we had, you did really a good job. I want you to have something that my people hold dear. And he holds out the thing that I described to you, Ollie.
Mm-hmm. So you see, it is, I think we can sort of assume, not of the absolute finest make in the entire world.
I mean,
however, he thinks it's pretty. It's very rustic. I think is the nicest way to put it. The goblin skull that you so deftly removed from its body has been scrubbed of flesh and sinew and everything. It is like perfectly clean, as if someone was doing this with practice. And it has had 2 holes cut in the one in the left, one like in the temples, basically where they would be, and a strip of leather has been fed through, allowing this skull to be worn as a belt.
Thanks, Al. You did well too. And she's gonna put it on, and she's gonna slightly bow to him, and awkwardly make her way into the tavern.
Okay. So yeah, you do a quick little gift exchange, a little white elephant, and then head into the tavern. And I think we'll end the session there, if that's cool.
Yep, that's cool.
Lovely. You survived. Do you remember what I said at the start of the first session?
Oh,
what I
when
said
sit under
was,
a table for a while.
I have a feeling someone's gonna die. So far, you've proved me wrong. 3 sessions in, like somewhere between 6 and 8 hours, and you're fine. You're absolutely fine. So I don't know what you're moaning about.
Awful rolls.
I mean, I rolled like really like dangerously well at the start. I was like, oh no, have I fucked up? And then I turned out I was just rolling like nothing but 18s for the start, like first hour. So I made up for it pretty quickly. So yeah, that was your first playing Dungeons and Dragons, the first dungeon. I am not going to tell you when the first dragon is.
Fucking better not be a dragon.
Next session.
No, don't worry. I promise. There's at least one. I said it right at the start. I like Dungeons and Dragons. I also like dungeons. I also like dragons. So expect to see a lot of those.
Oh god.
It's fine. You'll manage. Kill goblins. How hard can a dragon be?
Bloody level
Thinks
1.
back to the last time we saw a dragon.
Oh, PTSD.
Technically, last time we fought a creature of the dragon type was 2 wyverns, which we promptly absolutely fucked. But, you know. Let's see. Environment effective.
God, it's 11:15. I need to go make food.
I feel like just picking at curry this entire time, trying to eat it, but I just